What is up, everybody? I am going to build the watch list for tomorrow. Give me a moment while I go and share with everybody that we were live, and I will be with you guys in a couple moments. Couple more moments, guys. I'm just sharing right now that we're live, and I'll be with you. All right. So, what is up, everybody? See some people are still joining here right now. Let's get into the charts. I am going to, first of all, I'm still waking up from a nap, so it might take me a few minutes to get reacquainted here. It's when you teach in the mornings, man, it really starts to wipe you out. You talk for a couple hours and then drains all your energy. Then you got to take a nap and wake up from it, and then you go back into doing charts here again, teaching you guys for a bit, and then it puts me back to wanting to go to sleep again. So that's what happens when you're always trying to help and teach. You stare at one good thing, you're always staring at charts and graphs, and you're always staring, and you can never learn too much about candlesticks and patterns. On the other hand, your mind can start spinning all the time because you just are staring at charts and patterns all the time. So let me get into the futures first, and then I'm going to get into Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin, major drop today, right? So that major drop, did it just happen by accident? Did it drop today just because of that news? Or was it predictable, right? I'm going to show you that it was predictable. Again, you can, or let's put it this way. I'm going to change my wording. I don't want to say predictable, but probable, right? Probable is the terminology that we like to use in the stock market and when trading, because it's nothing's really predictable, and you can't really predict what something's going to happen, but you can trade in probabilities. So there is a likelihood or a probability of things happening, and that's why support and resistance and patterns are so key. And today was a day that on one hand it makes me satisfied because all my ranting about support and resistance and patterns to you guys, and you'll hear me ranting about it all the time. On one hand, it made me look like I was much smarter than I am. So that makes me feel good. So I can say, told you so. I've been showing you guys the entire time, right? See, and I'll show you guys. But at the same time, there's not satisfaction in it, because there are many people that have lost and are losing their entire life savings because they listen to people that pump up sectors like Bitcoin or pot stocks. Again, not saying they won't be good long term, not saying they can't go up long term, but when the pumpers are pumping, they're never ever showing support and resistance levels. I know somebody, won't name names, but somebody that cashed out their entire 401k, and I think put at least 50% of that. So they took whatever that 40% penalty was on their 401k, took at least, I believe, 50% of it, and they posted this. Like, I saw them post this, that they cashed it out, took the 50% penalty, and put over, I believe, either at least 40, but I think over 50% of the leftover money of their 401k into Bitcoin, when literally we're just basically telling them, hey, are you looking at the charts? And they ignore it. And I guarantee that person is still probably saying, don't worry, it's going up, it's going up, it's going up. Meanwhile, never showing the charts. So again, we have no hate against Bitcoin. We have no hate against pot stocks. We have no hate against any stocks. Remember, guys, we are traders. We are teaching support and resistance levels, right? We are not financial advisors. Someone posted last night in the group, hey, I have over $100,000. Where should I put it for the next 6 months, right? So very good question. If someone has that amount of money, that's something where you would consult a financial advisor or a professional, not, come to a Facebook group and ask where we should, put your money. That's definitely something you want to talk to a financial advisor about. But the good news, and what we're teaching you guys in everything, we're teaching you a skill set, right? This skill set of support and resistance could be used for anything in the stock market to help you determine investments, whether they're short-term or long-term, right? We're showing you mostly on daily charts, hourly charts, intraday charts, when you're day trading or swing trading. But if you want to go longer term, right, you can go over and do weekly charts, right? And you could also do monthly charts. So when looking at your, 401k and those types of things, again, we always suggest make sure you get a financial professional and go over those things with them for long term. But you can then see charts at least and see, okay, what's happening with the market? Is the market overextended? Is it looking to pull back? How's it trending? That's all learned through support and resistance levels. So I bring all that together for you guys so that when a day like today with Bitcoin happens, which I'll show you guys in a moment, it's not going to shock you, right? You're not going to no longer come into the group. Again, we see many of newbies come in and say, hey, why did the stock market go up today? Or, hey, why did the stock market go down? Or does anybody know what the stock market's going to do tomorrow or next week or next month or next year? The fact of the matter is nobody knows what the market's going to do, but support and resistance levels form patterns that show you probabilities. And those probabilities enable you to, enter and exit a trade and to be able to manage your risk. Now, hopefully that all makes sense to you guys. If it doesn't, take time, study. We teach you guys on our website, bullishbears.com. Right up over here, you'll see courses, and we have thousands of dollars worth of free courses. I said free. That is correct. You could go over here and take them for free. So, all right, let's look at the market, right? So these lines that you've been seeing, these like horizontal support and resistance levels and these vertical lines right here, these lines have just been on my charts, right? Occasionally I adjust them, but these have been kind of on here for the past several weeks, right? You can see that the market was basically in a descending triangle-ish pattern. It's not, I say ish because it's not perfect, but you can kind of see down here, there's some levels right here, and they kind of go up, right? So, it's an ish because it's not necessarily perfect, but you can see higher lows were being formed. And then you can see price right back over here broke out of that descending triangle, has been trading sideways ever since, and now it's starting to potentially move up. Again, here's the resistance levels right here. So when price hits those resistance levels, it's either going to break above and continue, or it's going to hit resistance and pull back, or it's going to trade sideways. Again, none of us know exactly which way it's going to go. That's why we have to map out these support and resistance levels and then map out our trading plan, whether you're day trading, swing trading, or going long term, right? Make sense? So this is for the futures, and at this point it's at resistance. It needs to get above that 27.91 and ideally above that 28.07. We want to see it clear that 28.08, right around that area, right at the top here, to continue and see if it'll continue. So, you know, if there's positive news that happens with all the stuff that's going on in the world and the meetings and stuff, you know, maybe there's a chance that this will continue up and go further. But again, remember, all these support and resistance levels are obeyed, right? You got to watch, you know, meaning when I say obeyed, doesn't mean they're going to go back and forth to them, but traders are aware of them. So if something positive happens, then you want to see price break above those levels. When things negative happens, you know, watch for the support levels, see if they hold. All right, so let's get into Bitcoin. /BTC. This is Bitcoin futures. So this chart, this is where I want to show you guys and not be like, hey, I want to brag, but I kind of want to brag a little bit, right? And I want to brag a little bit, and I'm going to then show you while bragging that I'm not doing anything special, right? This chart, for those of you guys that have been following and watching my watch list videos, for those of you guys that have been watching, you're going to see I haven't talked about Bitcoin in I think probably at least a couple weeks or so. But you'll see I had these lines drawn now for a while. These will look familiar to you guys. And I showed you when I drew these lines that this is a descending triangle. Again, take our candlestick patterns course on our website if you don't know what I'm talking about. But price has been in a descending triangle. You will see I showed you guys over here. This yellow, these two yellow dots or whatever you want to call them here, the highlights, that is a double top. You'll see I had this mapped out. That's resistance levels. Double tops are bearish. You can see price faded, and you can see support was over in here. It was bought up. So price fell, was a bear flagging. I was showing you guys these bear flags all when this was happening. And then I showed you guys this double top. Look out. And what did it do? Started failing. Back down to here where the buyers came back in. So now you had from a double top down to a double bottom. And I said, watch, okay. Price started moving up. What did it do again? If you zoom in here, you can't really see the yellow circles, but now you can. One here, one here. What is that? Another double top. So now, when that happened, you were able to connect this peak with that peak, hence the descending triangle. Now, the one thing I wanted to show you guys here, which makes me look smart, but I'm not really smart, it's just showing you guys what's logic. Back here, I had this dot, I think, somewhere back in here. So I had this dot before, way before this ever happened. This yellow dot was when I showed you guys, oh, right here, double top, the base of it, and I said, look out for this area for it to potentially retest, right? Because you can see descending triangle, 2 touches of a base. I had that dot on here because I said, look out, watch for it to potentially retest. Now, it didn't retest right away, right? So it didn't, you know, when I was showing it back here in May, it didn't happen until, you know, June 11th, so maybe a month later. But look, it's retesting it today. Now, everybody will blame, and all the retailer traders or whatever the news will blame today. I don't even know what the news was. I saw something come out. I think Bloomberg, I saw an article about, you know, something to do with, I think it was South Korea or something with China. I don't even know what the news was, but I don't even care what it was. And the reason why I don't care what it was is that this chart's been basically saying, it's been predicting this stuff. Like, don't think that, like, big traders don't realize, like, the ones that have the big mega money in it, they're not caught off out of surprise when something like this happens today. They know back here, those guys with the big money and girls, I'm just saying guys to be, you know, whatever is a term. So the guys and girls, you know, back, they know before a day like today happens. You don't think many of the big people have all their billions of dollars just risking, right, in a crappy looking chart. You know, this chart is garbage. They're buying at support levels, they're selling at resistance, but they're not just holding and like, oh, today caught me by surprise, so let me lose my billions. No, those people know what's going on. And when they buy and they sell, they leave these paper trails, and these trails are patterns. So when a day like today happens, all the retail traders, the newbies that are listening to all the pumpers on the planet, they get caught off by surprise. But meanwhile, they should never be surprised if they just study charts. And this chart will tell you this was predictable. Now, this chart will also tell you, again, I do not know what this is going to do. Nobody does, right? But the probabilities of seeing this big red candlestick at support of a descending triangle is not good. It's not good at all. So price, if it starts to fall below here now, you can see support down here at that 6,500-ish level and down at 5,970. If it starts to fail those levels, look out. So I'm going to leave those levels on the chart for you guys, and we're going to readdress it at some point, and we'll just keep an eye on it. Price now, it fell down into here, it bounced back up a little bit, but there's some more levels for it where it could fall. All support and resistance, guys. Patterns. And if you do not know patterns, you're not going to be able to trade. So this chart, on one hand, it makes me happy because it just shows exactly that what we're teaching you guys is the right stuff, support and resistance. On the other hand, it makes me angry. Really angry, because many of you guys are losing your life savings because people are pumping up stocks and they're not telling you where to buy and where to sell. Can you make money with Bitcoin? For sure. Moving forward, who knows at this point? It's not looking great in the descending triangle, but if you want to look, watch at these support and resistance levels, right? There might be an area where buyers might come back in down here, and it might pop back up again, and you might be able to make some profits. So hopefully this is it. This right here, what I'm showing you guys, is /BTC. This is Bitcoin futures. So this is the trackable Bitcoin futures and what's going on. All right, so I just gave about a bunch of my mental energy to Bitcoin right now. So let's make the watch list for tomorrow and see what we may put on it. Looking for stocks that are holding their highs on the day or holding their lows for possible breakouts or breakdowns. Patterns, patterns, patterns. We're always looking for patterns. This was one today, NNDM, that gapped up, and then what did it do? What did I show you guys in the trade room? I had it right here. That line, I said look out for 320. What did it do? Got up above 320 and then dumped back down. Predictable. Doesn't mean it can't go up a little bit more, but again, it's a crappy looking, garbage looking stock that pumps and dumps. I think Dan suggested, I think today, that maybe I should use the word messy rather than garbage. And I can see what he means by that and how it might be a nicer thing to say, but I like, for some reason, to still continue to say garbage. Garbage will probably get some people more upset with me, but I like to also, and if I said messy, maybe less people would get more upset with me than me saying garbage. But it's hard for me to not say garbage when most of these penny stocks are garbage. So I'd like to get garbage in your heads to let you guys know, should, you know, when you ask, should I swing trade garbage? That's when I say, well, if you want to swing trade garbage, make sure you look at the charts. So many times you can swing trade garbage, but it's not really the advisable thing to do. You want to trade garbage. That's where many of these penny stocks are garbage. That's why people trade them. So you can make a ton of money trading garbage as long as you know support and resistance. All right. If you're listening, Dan, sorry. Maybe I'll start using messy a little bit more. For those of you guys that I may drive nuts or don't like the way I talk, Dan is he's much more of the nicer one to talk. He tells it nicer than I do. So yeah, BTC. So I'm reading comments for those excuse me, that are watching the replay. I read the comments. I have the chat open. Uatali says BTC will go down for a while. The Fed wants the stock market to move higher. I mean, who knows? The charts are not looking good, that's for sure. So APRI. We're going to put that one on the watch list. Want to see it? You can see that gap. There's a gap right over here between 47 to 58 cents. We're going to watch and see. You can see this price. It's holding its highs on the day right at 44 cents. We're going to see if it fills between 48 to 58, right around there. So possible 10-cent move, potentially, on a 40-something cent stock. That's not bad. So it's the ability to make that much. Doesn't mean it's going to, but that's why we're going to put it on the watch list to watch APRI. And what are we going to do? Let's say 48 to 58. All right, so watch if price moves higher and fills the gap between 48 to 58 cents. That's APRI. All right, so OMNT. Let's take a look at that one. Nope, don't like it. Nope. Don't like it. Nope. No. Okay, so this one doesn't really... I like how this one's holding its highs, HMI. I don't like how it doesn't really have much of a history here. Now, Huami, it looks like it might be an Asian company. So this one, I don't know anything about this company. I don't like it how it doesn't have much of a history. I don't know if it's holding its highs and moving up, if it has to do with something to do with being an Asian company in the news that's happening this week. It's very overextended. It could pop up higher, and I'm just not going to put it on. I don't want to put that on. Don't like it. So someone's asking me, how do I find these stocks? We build watch lists every night with stocks that hold their highs on the day or holding their lows for possible continuation forward. If you are a member of our community, if you just log in over here under members only videos, you'll see the videos on how we make our scans each day. So we put our scan settings under there, under my members only videos. So this one right here, I want to look at it. You can see there's resistance at that 175 marker on the hourly chart. If I zoom to the daily, it's showing that, you know, a lot of volume coming in today here, maybe trying to get over that red line, that 200 SMA. If it does, it may be trying to get over that 200 SMA with resistance between 175 and then you also have that 230 level. So this one might have a possible reversal from a downtrend. Lots of volume at the end of the day here today. So what's that? 170. What is this? Let's go to the hourly. And you can see it's slowly stair-stepping up. So right here, I'm going to put price may be reversing from downtrend Watch for resistance around 175. So maybe moving up, watch for resistance right up here at that 200 SMA. So if it continues up, watch for it to, you know, possibly hit some resistance right around that 175. All right, so BLCM. I like this chart. As you can see, I had this kind of charted out at some point a while back. So actually now we can maybe go to the hourly. And so it looks like it's adjusted a little bit. So you can even go right over here to the daily, remove this line, and then kind of do this. Draw a trend line like this, right? So what do you guys see? An ascending triangle-ish pattern, higher lows. You can see some tests, couple tests over here. It broke out over here around that 950 level. Now next up is $10. You can see it's kind of bull flagging right over here. See if it can get above that 956. If it can clear that area, it has some room up to 990 or 9. Yeah, I'd say right below $10. So this one we're going to do this. Watch for potential continuation on ascending triangle with resistance around $10. So you can see, again, has this ascending triangle being formed here, but now it starts to get up here, and then the areas can continue to move. So the tops of this ascending triangle could continue to move, and it can consolidate, it can go sideways, and it can go, you know, sideways for a bit and have more touches of a top. So you can have it breaks out over here. Now it's got to continue in this 950s range and then $10 to see if it's going to continue up further. So that's BLCM. Let's see. BLCM. So Uatali says most of these are bio. Yeah, so these bio stock sectors maybe trying to make a move up. Again, have to be super careful. That's why you never really see us talking about holding any of these stocks, especially biotox. We're putting them on the watch list. Again, this is the daily watch list, so these are ones that we're looking, again, to trade more on the daily, right? Scalp 10, 15, 20, 30 cents. Got to be very careful holding them longer term. No. This is LGCY. I might take a look at this one. Might be trying to get, again, moving up over that 200 SMA. If it can get above $7, it might have some room to run. And let's see here. All right, so if it can get above $7, it's got some room to run. So this one right here, we're going to, you can see again, moving average lines are pinching. See if there's a 920 crossover that happens. So at this point, do this. Watch for a potential 9/20 cross and see if price can get above $7 for continuation. So watch and see if there's a 9/20 crossover, see if price can get over $7, and then watch $8 as resistance as well. Let's see if we can do that. Watch $8 resistance. So it's got some room to run if it can continue. LGCY. Man, GNC is taking a beating, huh? $52 a while back, huh? All the way down to $3.81. That's bad. Let's see if I like it. It's holding its highs, maybe trying to run up near resistance around $4. I don't like it. Garbage chart. Here we go. So this one I like because it's holding its highs right below $4. Kind of has an ascending triangle pattern, right? Ascending triangle right below $4. What do you see here? Price is in a gap that is a very wide gap right below the 50 SMA. So this one may be trying to go and break out. It's in the gap. This will be fun to watch. So several things here. Ascending triangle in major daily gap. Watch if price can continue up over 50 SMA and fill big gap. So ascending triangle in a major daily gap, right? Here's a major daily gap. Watch if price can continue over the 50 SMA, that purplish line, and fill this big gap. ACET, ascending triangle, right here. Again, show you guys here, just to show you guys patterns. What do you guys see here? A high at 1157 and a lower high that's almost equal right over here at 1153. It pulls back. No coincidence. Why? Double top, right? So you got to find these patterns, right? When price can't go and break above that previous high right over here at 1157, it pulls back. So now it's a double top failure. It may continue downwards, or it might turn into, you know, go and look at this. Maybe it'll turn into an ascending triangle, right? So many times these double tops form into ascending triangles and form those peaks, and then you got to see price get above those levels. Support and resistance. Guys, that's why we drum it into your head until you're sick of hearing it, that everything is support and resistance and patterns. Again, no one on the planet can predict what the stock market's going to do, but you can trade in probables with these support and resistance levels, make educated trading decisions, and put the trading odds in your favor. Again, if the trade goes against you, you manage your risk by having really tight stop levels based upon critical support and resistance levels. Very, very important. Again, if you're listening to what I'm saying and you don't know what I'm saying, if you're trading with real money, you're not going to make it, because you should never trade with real money unless So let me put it that again. You should never trade real money if you're new and don't know what you're doing, unless you're dealing with a reputable stockbroker or a financial advisor. That's a different story. If you're hiring somebody that's a professional, different story, right? But if you're listening to news or you're joining, again, if you're one of those newbies coming into our trade room or our Facebook group and you're saying, hey, what's the hottest stock to buy right now? Or, hey, I have $30,000. What should I buy? That's a perfect way to lose your money, right? You shouldn't be listening to people in a Facebook group tell you what to buy. You can take suggestions and then look at support and resistance levels and make a trading decision. But if you're looking to put your money off of somebody pumping up a sector, that's where you're going to lose it. Perfect case in point. Look at Bitcoin, all right? Let's do another one because I love when I go on a Bitcoin rant, I usually end up pulling up pot stocks. Let's take a look over there. Can pump and dump. Not doing much. At some point, maybe it'll get a pump again. But remember, look at this. All right. So it got pumped up right over to this $11. It got pumped up again right over here. Second major time up to less than $6. It's getting pumped up again down to over here. Notice that each time it pumps up, it's getting lower. And then go back to the past. It was up to $64 at one point. I use this as an example. This is a perfect example of Bitcoin, of what happened to people that get trapped in a sector. How many people do you think bought CAN when it was back at $64 and got that quick pump, and now for years later it never recovered? I don't know about Bitcoin. Maybe it will recover. Who the heck knows? But look, it had the same. I don't have this. I'm not able to zoom in back then like to the daily chart, but it's kind of has that descending pattern, doesn't it? Right here, higher lows being formed in a base and it just cracked, right? That's what happens with these pump and dumps. ACBFF, Canadian pot stock, supposed to be a really great stock. Who knows? But all I know when I look at the charts, got pumped up to $12. Look, Canada legalized. Look at all the news, guys. All of the news about Canada legalizing marijuana. So if that's the case, why is one of their best stocks, ACBFF, not going higher right now? Again, these stocks obey support and resistance levels. And what you do is you do this. Connect these lines right here. Connect these lines kind of over in here or back over into here maybe. Kind of similar, and you're seeing kind of a symmetrical triangle. And price is getting whacked around in this symmetrical triangle. Symmetrical triangles are very difficult to trade, but everything has support and resistance levels. Pot stocks, Bitcoin, the market, everything. TWMJF, we'll look at that one. That's supposed to be Canada's best pot stock. And let's take a look why that's not pulling up. TWMJF. Here we go. And why Thinkorswim doesn't want to pull this one up, I don't know. Let's give it a second. Why is this not pulling up? Come on. That's odd. It doesn't even want to pull it up. All right. Take a look at another one. TRTC. I think that's supposed to be another good pot stock. TRTC. This is supposed to be a really, when I was doing back before the election, I was researching this stock. This stock was supposed to be incredible. Well, look at it. Right up over here. TRTC. Sucked people in all the way to $11 up here. Pumped them back up again right over here to $8.43. Suckered them back in here at $9.23. And now it's dropped all the way back down to $2. I thought this was supposed to be a great company. As of right now, the chart's terrible. It's garbage. What do? You can trade these and make a ton of money. But if you just buy into a sector and hold long term just because everybody tells you that sector is going to go up and go to the moon, well, traders take profits. I hope you guys are grasping this. Very, very important. Support and resistance. So this one might be one to keep an eye on. A little bit overextended. You can see it looks like this is an Asian company, so these Asian ones might be ones to keep an eye out on. See 1325, and then right here at that 1307 marker, you can see it's almost like a big cut pattern or an inverse head and shoulders. Big left shoulder, head, kind of a right shoulder neckline. This one may be trying to go and break out. Let's see, 13 to 1325. So let's see here. Price moving in overall inverse head and shoulders. Watch for a potential. Watch if neckline can break above 1325 area. So kind of an inverse head and shoulders, a head down here, a bigger left shoulder, a right shoulder here, and then your neckline kind of extends up here, and see if it can break out over 1325. BSTI. So this one, not a lot of volume. It's a little bit messy. This one's interesting one here. Let's see. Looks like it's at all-time highs. I don't know if I'm going to look at that one. Let's take a look at GoPro. Good old GoPro. Ouch, another one. 65 bucks down to $6. Ouch. So again, you know, if you're new, right? You know, people, or it was up to 90, it was 97 at one point, right? So all these stocks have support and resistance levels all the way down, right? Boom, boom. So, you know, that's why it's so important to teach yourself this. If you want to buy stocks, you have to learn all of these support and resistance levels, how these stocks move. You don't just buy just because. Again, this is where you have to be careful. Just doing fundamental research. GoPro, I mean, I don't really know much about GoPros. I know they're pretty great cameras, right? But, you know, when you're buying something, you might have done your fundamental research, oh, this is good, it's going to be the wave of the future, great cameras, yada, 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 yada. You know, I don't know. I'm assuming, again, a part of me might be thinking, oh, is our iPhones and all our camera phones hurting GoPro? If that's the case, maybe something that we thought would be the future, because cameras are so easily accessible, maybe it's hurting their stock. So what if you put all your life savings in here at $98 on GoPro, and now it's down to $6, right? You could have watched these support and resistance levels along the way and protected your finances, right? So if somebody just told you, hey, give you a stock tip, right? Buy GoPro back over here at $40. Then they told you it was going to the moon and it went up to $98. Wow, you doubled your investment. That's awesome. But if you didn't take your profits, then look, coming down here, it starts to fall. And then over here, you know, don't worry, it's going to go back up. It goes back up again. And then what? Boom. Just tanks. And meanwhile, you're just holding because everybody tells you to hold, but you don't know support and resistance, and that's how you lose your money. Does the market close together tomorrow? What's tomorrow? I don't think it's closed tomorrow. Let's see. What the heck is tomorrow? That's a good... Maybe I get a day off tomorrow. That'd be nice if it is. Let's see. 6, 12, 18, stock market. Is there a special day tomorrow? Is tomorrow a holiday? Is the market closed to go? I don't know. Now you guys are throwing me off. What holidays tomorrow, Christian? Thoughts on AMD going back up? Incredible bullish move the last few days. Let's take a look. Christian, tell me what holiday tomorrow is. I don't know what the heck it is. Is stock market closed? If it is, then this watch list will just go for, it'll go for the next day. No, I don't see anything off. Nope. So I don't think it's off. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any holiday tomorrow. AMD. Let's take a look. AMD, possible. It's one to keep an eye on. It's got to get above that 1597. Might be doing a reversal pattern here. Needs to get above 16 bucks. So that one might be one to keep an eye on. Possibly. Maybe we'll put it somewhat down here, maybe on the swing trade watches to keep an eye on. But, you know, again, just be aware that it did pull back a little bit right below $16, so we got to keep an eye on it and see. All right, so this one, we've had APO on our watch list, and look, it's continued up, and now it is holding its highs. It's breaking out, and where is it? Right below this gap. This may have been on our one today or last week, but I think it may have been even today. What is it doing? Holding its highs, going near the gap between 433. It's in the gap right up to 526. So this is going to be one to see if it can continue up into the gap. Patterns, guys. What did I tell you guys? You can see here if you've been watching. What is this? An ascending triangle. Higher lows, a top here, breaks out, continues to what? There is a gap over here, right around that 433-ish area, on up to 529. No coincidence. Price likes to, price watches these gaps. Traders watch these gaps. Very, very important. So let's do this. Price is in the gap. Watch if it continues up and fills gap around 530-ish. Always got to add the ish. Oh, thanks, Christian. So Christian threw me off with no holiday tomorrow. That's okay. We forgive you. Let's see here. So APTO, putting that on here, and that makes me curious. Did I have it on today's watch list from this weekend? APTO, look at this. Lucian, you are awesome. Look at this. How awesome am I at this? Am I a wizard? Am I doing something that's super special? Am I Nostradamus? Can I predict the future? No. I just look at support and resistance. And support and resistance was showing me over here. APTO. If you guys had just were $10 a month, if you want to know if we're legit or not, well, look, here's one trade, just one, that have triggered. Price broke out of an ascending triangle. Watch for gap between 430 and 530. I said at or above 408. This is on today's watch list. It did nothing when I was looking at it earlier. And what did I tell you guys earlier on the stream? Had a crappy day today on my watch list looking at it. I said, watch, maybe later during the day it'll break out. It did nothing. It was absolute garbage over here. It broke above 408. Now it's above 433, holding its highs and continuing. Now, again, be aware, it's very overextended. Doesn't mean it's going to fill the gap, but you know, watch these patterns, right? It'll either go up into the gap and continue and fill, or it'll dump. But that's okay. We're looking for volatility when day trading. We want stocks that move up or move down and create volatility for possible longs on the way up or shorts on the way down. Oh, poor Hertz. That's another one taking a beating. Okay, so this one, do I like this one? Let's see. Enbridge. Nope, I don't. I just don't like it. Possible reversal pattern forming here. May have found a base. See if it can get back up over that 1267 and continue. This one might be oversold reversal forming. So if you can get above 1271, the top of this candle. So, and what do you guys see here? Kind of a Morningstar pattern, right? Morningstar reversal-ish, not perfect. 1270, so Morningstar pattern on the daily. Watch if price can get above 1270-ish with resistance at 9 EMA on daily. Morningstar pattern, potential reversal. See if price can get above that 1270 area with resistance right around that 9 EMA, right around that 1370 JKS. Again, if you're wondering how the heck I'm finding these patterns and you don't know what patterns are, come over here to our website, bullishbears.com. We have our courses. We have 2 candlestick courses, which will keep you busy for probably a month or 2 right here, which is going to teach you these patterns. And there you go. Let's see here. Let's keep zooming through. I don't know if I like it. All right, so that's that for the daily watch list. Well, hello, Mr. T.O. How's it going? Mr. T.O. says, hey. And so I'll say, hey back. AMD. Let's see. Do we want to put that on? AMD holding its highs near $16. Pulled back. It's a bit overextended. I don't know if I'm going to put that one on. It's a little bit over. Pierced, went up, and then it failed 1597. Possible double top. I don't know if I want to put that one on, actually. So let's go to the swing trade watch list. Let's do... So General Mills. See, there is a gap between 46.38 right here to 49.67. So there's room to move. 9 and 20 crossover. There's resistance all through, right through in here. So if it can continue up, watch up to that 46.38. So there is room to run. So you want to see if price will continue and push up. Possible reversal. Base of gap right around that 46.50-ish area. So possible reversal and moving up. Watch for resistance at base of gap around 46.50-ish. Putting my ish in there. Possible reversal and moving up. See if it continues moving up. Watch for resistance at the base of gap around 46.50-ish, right around here. So GIS. I'm trying to put ones on for you guys that have room to move, right? Room to move to resistance. Earnings on 627, so not yet. So there's some time. All right, so I see a... I don't like that, per se, that big drop down, but I do like... Let's do this. End bridge, actually, let's see over here. All right, so what I like, or what I see here, is an inverse head and shoulders. You can see a neckline right over here, a left shoulder ahead, a right shoulder right here, a pattern. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, neckline around that 33.75. There is quite a bit of open interest. Somewhat decent bid-ask spreads. 25 cents, a little bit more than I want it to be. I'd like it 15 cents or less. But open interest on both sides. I see a pattern. Room to move up to that 33.79. So this has got room to run. I like this to keep an eye on it. So let's do this. Inverse head and shoulders on daily. Watch for neckline resistance around 33.7 D's. So my D's is like an ish, right? Ish or D's. It could be 77, 79, 70, 70s. You guys see that? So I said D's. 33.7 D's. All right. So right here. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, room to move, resistance right around the 33.7 Ds. E and B. Play. Chris, I'm not sure what you're talking about. Do you swing trade options too? Sure. Yeah, we absolutely do. Again, I haven't been trading much in a while because I'm nonstop talking to you guys on the mic, and it burns me out for hours a day. Tim's more of a long-term trader. Dan does more of swing trades. Believe it or not, I am actually more of a swing trader. So I'm more naturally by default a swing trader, an options trader, but I've been doing a lot of the showing you guys the scans in the morning and day trading to try to help you guys keep the flow and movement going. So again, it just shows to show you guys that what really matters is support and resistance, right? So I may be naturally a swing trader, but I'm able to teach you guys and show you guys intraday charts because you're still, even as a swing trader, looking for an entry on an intraday chart, or for trades going against you. You may get out of a swing trade chart or swing trade if the intraday charts are not that good, right? So support and resistance is everywhere. It's on daily, weekly, monthly, and intraday charts. So, long story short, do I swing trade? Yes. Have I in a while? No. Why? Because I'm talking to you guys all day long. And I don't have the ability to do both. I'm either a teacher or a trader. I'm not good at teaching and trading. It's just not my skill set. Dan is much better at that. KHC. So at the outset, it doesn't look like much, but let's look at the hourly. So now on the hourly, I look at this and I can see right along here, potential ascending triangle right here. So it may be trying to look to break out. You can see some resistance. 62-ish range. So now right between that 60 to 62.30-ish range. And then I look over here. Possible ascending triangle. You can see right around that 62.50-ish range. Let's see if there's any options. Lots of open interest. Tight bid-ask spread. So this is one I'll keep on the watch list. KHC. 62.50s. Let's see. Ascending triangle. Watch if price breaks out over $60 with resistance in 62.50s. Again, going back to the D's like an ish. 62.50s. 50s. KHC. Guys, as you can see, I start to go crazy talking for hours upon each day, so I got to have my little things to keep me sane. So ascending triangle, watch it break out over 60, around that 62.50s as resistance. So Will says the futures room is killing it. Awesome, yeah. Guys, a lot of people love the futures room. Rose in there talking, other people too. Again, we're trying to give you guys options, both figuratively and literally, or literally and figuratively, or whatever you want to say. So yeah, the futures room's another room we add on with the swing trade room, options room, day trading room. Give you guys places to learn and talk with other traders, right? All right, so I am almost done. I'm burnt out, tired from talking. I just ramble. I should make these watch list videos shorter, but I took about 15 minutes to tell you how mad I was at people getting burnt by Bitcoin and why you shouldn't be surprised. And I'll probably end this video of, again, bringing it back to Bitcoin and charts and telling you guys that's why support and resistance is super important. And that's that. Those are my two watch lists. Again, you don't want a ton to look at for swing trade anyway. You want a few, less than a handful to look at. So again, so there's our daily and our swing trade watch list. Go back to the market again. Let's look at futures like we started off with. Guys, again, support, resistance, lines, right? All these lines are on my chart. They're just sitting there, right? Price was in this descending triangle, broke out right over here, traded sideways. Now it's moving up. Resistance right over here, up into that 28.08 marker. You want to see it clear right over that 28.08 or 09 marker. If it can clear that, this thing might go on a little bit of a run right up to that 28.78 marker. Got to watch and see, right? Support and resistance, super important. Bitcoin, BTC. Guys, I've had these lines up on my chart throughout pretty much most of this year. And you'll see this yellow dot that I showed you guys was one that I had on, I think, back over in here. If you guys have been watching this video, why did I have it down here? Because these two areas were support. Prices then in a descending triangle near a double top. A double top within a descending triangle is bearish. This is like, hello, here was the neckline. Neckline dropped. Well, what's logical thing for it to do? Head down to these areas. It didn't hit it over in here. It hit it down over here. Point being is the news today, you know, again, people will blame stuff, or the Bitcoin pumpers or whatever is going to say, well, it's all because of whatever happened with, I saw something peripherally about South Korean news or something to do with China, something. I don't even care what the news is. The news on it doesn't matter, right? Don't get caught up by the news. I've been telling you about this charts now for months. It obeys support and resistance. So here's where I'm going to probably get all fired up. But anybody tells you that Bitcoin doesn't follow charts like any other stock is, let me clean up my language here. Don't listen to that baloney, because that's baloney, right? I want to say something else, but that's baloney. all stocks obey support and resistance levels, and Bitcoin has been in a massive descending triangle. It's at the base of a descending triangle, and there's still some more room to fall. If this 5970 cracks, who the heck knows what can happen? But again, this line will extend into the future, and it can continue a further descending triangle. If support breaks down here, it then becomes resistance, and it could smack around and keep this long, prolonged descending triangle. It can continue. The buyers may come in here soon, buy it back up and prop it up again, but it may continue lower highs in a descending triangle. It's got to break out of this 10,000 marker and then 11,600 area for it to continue up. So can you make money with Bitcoin? Absolutely. If you buy low and sell high, buy low, sell high, just like every other stock or anything you trade on the planet. Buy at support, sell at resistance. Do not be a newbie that's giving all of their life savings away by buying at resistance and crying on the way down and selling at support. Newbies are getting trapped up here. The professionals are buying down here, selling up here. Buying down here, selling up here. The newbies are buying up here, getting screwed down here, buying up here, getting screwed down here. And the big dogs with the big money might be looking down here and say, okay, maybe we'll wait for a quick pop, or they might short it down. Now that all the pain is happening today, everybody's crying, looking at their accounts. I'm not trying to make light. I'm sorry. I'm probably making it a little bit too light. There are some people that are in some really desperately bad situations right now, especially with buying Bitcoin, that at any moment this thing could just, right now, this might not be the worst of it. This is bad, but the worst might not have happened yet. You're at a base of a descending triangle. If that base cracks, that, I don't know what the greatest wealth loss in the history of this planet will be, but that could be pretty epic. If this base cracks, who the heck knows where this can drop. Can it go up? Sure. The charts are garbage. You gotta watch the charts. Always about support and resistance. That's what I got. And if you guys haven't joined our community, here we go. Someone saying Valerie's saying, I saw someone post about a hack and wallet. Now I know nothing about Bitcoin. If you Google, you might find the articles. Yeah, there's always news. Everything's got news. Bottom line, the charts can get ahead of the news many of times because, again, don't think the billionaires and the big dogs that have the millions and billions of dollars, don't think they're buying. I want to be nice when I say this, but they're not stupid enough to buy at resistance levels and put millions and billions of dollars. That's what the retail traders are. Not calling anybody that's a retailer stupid. I've been there many and many of times. I'm trying to put the fear in you guys and really wake you up because I really want you to understand that you do not buy when everybody's telling you to buy unless you know support and resistance. So the big dogs are not buying out here. They're buying down here and selling out here. All right, that's my soapbox. Makes me mad because many people are losing or have lost their entire life savings. Marriage is getting ruined. And I'm sure there's people that are, you know, the reality of stuff like this, right? What do? You buy up here and you put your life savings up here and these levels and you lose it. Some people, again, can drive you to insanity and do bad things when you lose your money like this. This is the stock market and it happens all the time. Many people will gamble. And, you know, when gambling doesn't go your way, many times bad things happen, and it's sad. This is a very, very sad reality that many people are completely losing their life savings, all based upon hype, never looking at charts, and all you have to do is something that is not easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. The simple thing is learn support and resistance. It's simple, but it's not easy. How do you learn support and resistance? Here's $3,000 worth of courses that'll keep you busy probably for the next 3 to 6 months of your life, but it'll save you all the money getting started. Watch an hour or two every single day of these free videos if you want to learn support and resistance. So is it simple? Yes, we lay it out right here for you guys. Is it easy? Heck no. You got to study your butt off for months. If you're willing to put in the work, then you'll learn support and resistance. You'll learn a skill set that for the rest of your life, you'll know support and resistance levels. That's not going to change. 50 years from now, the stock market's still going to be support, resistance, and patterns. It'll probably be faster, higher technology, but we're not, again, look at the evolvement of probably having to call a stockbroker in the past, and now you're able to trade online, and you have high-tech software. 20 years from now, it'll probably be even more high-tech software, but you're still going to be trading on support and resistance. You study and put the work in now, you'll have a lifelong skill set that basically it's this simple: support and resistance. And looking at thousands upon thousands upon thousands of charts until these patterns jump out at you and smack you across the face until you really get it. That is trading. That's that. I give you an extra rant. We're, again, thousands of dollars worth of courses, several trade rooms, a day trade room, swing trade room, futures room, lots of content. Subscribe over here if you are not a member yet. We are $10 per month. We're the cost of a Netflix payment each month. Not going to find anything cheaper, and you're not going to get more content for what we offer at $10 a month. All right, guys, you have a wonderful evening, and we will see you all in the morning.